Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm gonna do an analysis of Vecna versus Demogorgon, who would win. Analysis being a disguise for me rambling on and having lots of pauses where I don't know, where I'm not talking for some reason I don't know. Uh, so yeah, Vecna. Uh, there are 5e stats for him, and 2 days ago I got Monsters of the Multiverse. Great book. Um, D&D books are $50 a pop. This was definitely worth it. Um, so yeah, I was, I was, since I got Monsters of the Multiverse, it has every single named demon lord in it. Lolth is not a demon lord anymore, so whatever. At least demon lords that I'm aware of. And I was, just for fun, I was looking through them, thinking, okay, which ones could Vecna beat in a fight? So I went by challenge rating, and I was interested, for some reason, I looked more at Duoblex, and that was, um, good to know because Duoblex is a solid draw. Vecna, by challenge rating, could beat Duoblex up. The problem is Duoblex has regeneration like a troll, except instead of acid and fire, it's fire and radiant. So it regain he regains hit points, um, well, 20 hit points at the start of each turn, and only dies if he's at 0 hit points and doesn't regenerate. So while Vecna could do that much more than that in a sneeze, um, I don't think either of them could actually win, because Vecna could just continually beat Juoblex up, and I don't think Juoblex could do a lot in that one turn. Like, it's still like having a turn each round, but like, I don't know if it could do a lot. But Vecna can't kill him. Sorry, I keep forgetting it's like him. So, yeah, solid draw. Sorry, gotta drink some water. Um, and so I'm really upset because I had a full 42 minute 17-second recording and my mic was not working. At least hopefully I can sum it up better because a lot of it was some of it was just me figuring stuff out. Because as much as I thought I had like figured it out, there was still some more. So Demogorgon, Prince of Demons, Vecna, um, strongest lich in history, has also cool aliases or titles like the Lord of the Hand and the Eye, the Lord of the Rotted Tower, the Chained Lord, the Lord. I just admit, not that. Um. So poor attempts at jokes aside, Vecna is the same challenge rating as Orcus and Demogorgon. And I immediately cast Orcus aside because Orcus's challenge rating assumes he has the wand of Orcus, but according to the Dungeon Master's Guide, it frequently pops up elsewhere, so there's a good chance that you won't even have it. Um, it is 12:26 a.m., but I don't care, because I am not tired at all. So, yeah, and also it tells you what he needs the Wand of Orcus for. It gives him plus 3 AC, which even then is AC 20. His base AC is 17. And all of his most powerful attacks, all of his most powerful spells require the Wand of Orcus. Um, well, his most powerful attack requires the Wand of Orcus, and his most powerful spells require the Wand of Orcus. Yada yada yada. Without it, he is way worse. But they don't have a challenge rating for that, so I'm just assuming that it's way worse because it is. So Demogorgon, other than Duoblex, well, Duoblex is a draw again. Demogorgon, the only one that I believe poses an actual threat to Vecna. So I thought of this because I was probably one of Vecna's best moves. Vile Teleport. Bonus action. He teleports 30 feet, up to 30 feet. Deals 3d6 psychic damage. He can deal 3d6 psychic damage, but obviously he will. He's a bad guy. To any creature within 15 feet of where he ends up. And if any creature takes any damage, he regains 80 hit points. His max is 274. Demogorgon's is 464, by the way. His is 22 AC, and Vecna's is 18, but whatever. So, and when I and then I was doing I looked a little bit at Demogorgon's stat block, and I saw that his main attack reduces your hit point maximum if you fail a save, and that got me thinking, because that's a legitimate counter. Well, actually, yeah, because then he can't regain past that. Well, that's the first kind of counter, and then I started. It was a rabbit hole. This was, because everything counters everything else. It's wild, and I think I know who would win. At the end of that 42-minute 17-second recording that my mic wasn't working for, right at the end I realized something. Who would win? But before that, and thankfully that's gonna help it be a bit more concise since I've already gone over this. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about the moves and how they can be countered, and yeah. So let's see. Let's say Demogorgon. Demogorgon has 2 tentacle attacks and can replace one with gaze. Um, DC 23 Wisdom save. Easy. Vecna has plus 15 to Wisdom. Let's say he fails. 1 to 2, it stuns the target. Vecna can't be stunned. 5 to 6, this is random. You roll it on a d6. 5 to 6, charmed by Demogorgon. Vecna can't be charmed. 3 to 4, confusing gaze. You suffer the effects of the confusion spell until the start of Demogorgon's next turn, and Demogorgon does not need to concentrate on it. Which is bad, but in case he fails, Vecna has legendary resistance. So does Demogorgon. They both have legendary resistance 3 times per day. The thing is, it's going to be most useful for Vecna because Vecna is not going to be using his spells to attack. In fact, he only has 1 damaging spell, and I'm going to get to that, which is kind of funny. I'll also get to that. His spellcasting is funny. I will get to that. But yeah. Anyways, let's say it. Let's say for the fun of it, he's legendary resistance. Like he can use legendary resistance. I don't know. And for the 2 tentacle attacks, or the 1 if he uses gaze, plus 17 to hit. He's a demon lord. Challenge rating 26. Reach 10 feet. He is size huge, which is weird. I would think it would be 15 feet since he's huge, but whatever. 3d12 plus 9 force damage. That's an average of 28. DC 23 con save, or have your hit point maximum reduced by an amount equal to that damage. Now Vecna has a plus 12 to con saves, so that means he only has to roll an 11 or higher, which means it is an even 50-50. And since Demogorgon can make 2, that's a if he does, that is a 25% chance that Vecna does not suffer any reduction in hit point maximum, which isn't great, but Vecna does a lot of damage. Fun fact, Vecna does a lot of damage. But I'm not done with Demogorgon yet, so let's see. Spellcasting. At will. Detect magic and major image. 3 per day each. Spell magic, fear, telekinesis. 1 per day each. Feeble blind, project image. And so the only ones that are going to that Demogorgon can actually do anything with in a battle with Vecna are telekinesis and feeble mind, since Vecna is immune to being frightened. Telekinesis is a contested strength. Now, Demogorgon has 29 strength. Vecna has 14. You can guess who wins that. So Vecna has 2 per day Dimension Door. Also immediately Vecna. Um, and Demogorgon can only use one. Spellcasting isn't part of Demogorgon's multi-attack, so that's just Demogorgon's whole turn. He doesn't have any bonus actions either. Vecna has 1. That's Vile Teleport. Um, and so Vecna has Dimension Door, which Vecna could just, which is 200 feet, I believe. Am I right on that? Is it 200 feet? Oh! No, my bad. It's 500 feet. Holy cow! Holy! Jeez! Jeez! Sorry. So yeah, that's easily out of the 60-foot range. And it's up to 500 feet, of course. So Vecna can just go right outside of that, which is what Vecna wants to do. Because what I realized at the end of near the end of the last recording is something Vecna can do. Oh dang, I spoiled something. I was gonna say. Um, in case you haven't picked up, I'm not gonna say what it was. Um, so Demogorgon uses telekinesis. Vecna fails, obviously. But then again, Vecna just. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Vecna has Dread Counterspell. It's Counterspell, but it automatically succeeds 4th level or higher. It's not technically a spell, and it's an easy check. Because Vecna, let's see, Vecna has +6 to an intelligence check for a level 5 spell that is telekinesis. He would need to make 10 plus the level of the spell, that's 15. With a +6, Vecna only needs to roll 9. So that's at will, of course, and it's a reaction. So Vecna will just nope right out of there, and just in case he fails, it's Dimension Door. So likely, the very likely, um, all the telekinesis he's will fail. That's neat. Which is one of Demogorgon's um most significant moves in this battle. Well, actually, everything is significant. Every single thing in this battle is is extremely significant because this is the same challenge rating. This is the most powerful Lich ever versus the Prince of Demons. And so, yeah. Now, what Vecna, when it's something Vecna pretty much needs to do on his turn, is cast Fly. Fly is at will, and it gives him a speed of 60 feet. Now, the thing I said I would get to, his only damaging spell, is Lightning Bolt. It's at will. Lightning Bolt is his only damaging spell. Vecna. First Lich. Most powerful Lich. Lightning Bolt. Let that sink in. Man, now I can only think of those, those memes where it's like a sink at a door, and it just says "Let that sink in." That's, I don't think I'll ever be able to say "Let that sink in" seriously again. So anyways, yeah. Um, and I'm just gonna ignore a lot of his spells since he won't need them. The ones that will be significant: Fly and Dimension Door. That's it. Those are the spells he needs. He has quite a few spells, but yeah, he sucks at spellcasting. It's really funny. I have no idea why Wizards of the Coast did this. It's insane. He's supposed to be. This is like pre-deity, by the way. This stat block is before he became a demigod. Um, but it's what we have, so yeah. So Vecna, it's Vecna's turn. Vecna has dread counterspelled, likely succeeding. If not, Dimension Door. So, um, now Vecna has can do two things on his turn. Make two attacks. Well, first of all, he uses Flight of the Damned, if available. Flight of the Damned is a recharge 5 to 6, which is why it says it, if available. And if you don't know what that means, it's if you there are things that say recharge 5 to 6. Some of them are recharge 6, and very few are recharge 4 to 6, which is what that means is that you roll a d6 at the start of the turn or whatever, whenever, and if it says, say, 4 to 6, and it's a recharge 4 to 6, that means you can do it again. If not, you can't. So, um, but Flight of the Damned is not what we're, is not what that's not where the money at. That's not where the money's at. So he can use Flight of the Damned if available, Rotten Fate, or Spellcasting. Then he makes two attacks with Afterthought. Afterthought is his dagger. It's a magical +5 dagger that to anyone else is +2. So, Rotten Fate is what you need to do because Flight of the Damned is it deals less damage on average, and it does that because it's supposed to fright. If the creature fails to save, they take full damage, otherwise half damage, and if they fail it, they are frightened. Demogorgon is immune to frightened, and also will since they're all of these saves Vecna has are con saves. Demogorgon has +16 to con saves, so yeah. hmm Rotten Fate is what Vecna needs to use. Even if we're relying on a Demogorgon uh, taking succeeding the save, Flight of the Damned on a failed save takes 8d8 +60 necrotic damage. That's 96 average damage. And also, if you're a humanoid and it kills you, um, it turns you into a zombie. But whatever. Demogorgon is neither humanoid. Demogorgon is a humanoid, and it doesn't matter anyways. So Vecna uses Rotten Fate. Demogorgon succeeds. Duh. All he has to do is roll a 6. He still takes 48 necrotic damage guaranteed. Um, and it does say it's magic, so Demogorgon has advantage since he has magic resistance, which is advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. And so Vecna's done that. Owie. And that's 120-foot range. Now, what Vecna needs to do is move closer to Demogorgon. Vecna needs to start his next turn 35 feet away from Demogorgon. Needs to. That is the most important part of this entire hypothetical fight. Vecna needs, I'm going to say it. I'm just going to keep saying it. Vecna needs to start his turn exactly 35 feet away from Demogorgon. This is so important. It is by far the most important part of this fight. Okay, I'll stop now. I just wanted to get that to let that sink in. Gosh. And so Vecna, he is gonna uh, doesn't matter what he does in this turn. Doesn't matter. Use Rotten Fate, duh, just to get the damage in. Vecna does that. He ends his turn within 35 feet. 35 feet away. Um, actually, how does Vecna do that? Trying to think of this actually. So, ooh, um, Vecna could just go to Demogorgon actually. Just go right up to Demogorgon. Demogorgon, duh, attacks. Since that's about all you can do. Uses tentacle. Ow. Likely reduces Vecna's hit point maximum. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Vecna just needs to be on 1 health. That is it. Vecna takes the damage. Vecna uses his reaction, Fell Rebuke. In response to being hit by an attack, Vecna utters a fell word. I looked it up. It's just like evil. Bad. Dealing 10, that is 3d6 necrotic damage to the attacker, and Vecna teleports along with any equipment he is wearing or carrying up to 30 feet in an unoccupied space he can see. So, if Vecna is 5 feet away from Demogorgon, or 10 feet away, that's Demogorgon's reach, he can teleport to 35 feet away precisely. No more, no less. Again, most important part of the entire fight. So Vecna deals 10 damage, whatever. And so Vecna starts his turn. Vecna uses Vile Teleport as a bonus action, because you can take bonus actions at the start of your turn. To Demogorgon, he goes 5 feet away from Demogorgon. This is why you need to be 35 feet away. And he, actually no. Actually no. He can't attack with Afterthought first, but that doesn't matter. So he teleports 5 to 5 feet in front of Demogorgon. Uses Rotten Fate. Alright? Demogorgon takes 48 damage average. Vecna uses his movement speed fly speed of 60, which he needs to have cast before this. Needs to. And so he moves 60 feet away. That makes Vecna. Or no, sorry. He attacks with Afterthought. 50 more damage on average. Vecna. No, dips. Vecna dips. Flies 60 feet away. And Demogorgon can't do a lot as his two legendary actions. He can either cast a spell, which again I've already gone over. That's not really gonna work. Or plus telekinesis can't even reach there. Vecna is 5. I just realized Vecna is 5 feet out of telekinesis' range. So that doesn't work at all. Or he could use gaze with either beguiling or confusing. Confusing again, Vecna has legendary resistance, and this can be very early into the fight. This can be like a few rounds in. Doesn't matter. All he has to do is cast Fly. This could be I don't know. Could this be the second round? Maybe. And Demogorgon can't use the tail attack, which is only a legendary action, because that's reach 15 feet, and Vecna is 65 feet away. Okay? Uh, um, so Vecna, plus Vecna has counterspell, a dread counterspell. So, Demogorgon uses his 50 feet of movement. He's now 15 feet away from Vecna. Demogorgon takes legendary actions at the end of another creature's turn. And he does not have the tail attack as part of a normal action. This means, and since Tentacle is reach 10 feet, he cannot hit Vecna at all. All he can do is cast a spell, Dread Counterspell. So, all he can do is use Confusing Gaze. Vecna, um, it's very much probable that Vecna will succeed this, and if not, legendary resistance. Repeat. Vecna averages 96 damage per turn. Demogorgon, 0. Repeat. Fly is at will. I suppose you will need to repeat this. Vecna may take some damage, so I guess he can't be at 1 health. Vecna will take some damage every time you need to repeat it. Let's see, how long does Fly last? Fly. Up to 10 minutes? Oh no, he's not going to have to recast that at all. Holy cow. Up to 10 minutes. That is 60 rounds, I believe. Because we're on a 6 seconds. About 6 seconds at 5e. Alright. It's concentration, of course, but since Demogorgon can't deal damage. Too bad, so sad. Again. So, Vecna will maintain concentration. 10 minutes. Yeah, that's 60 rounds and averaging 96 damage per round against 464 hit points. Of course, I'm using adding the 50 average 25 average damage for each of the two. That is, sorry, 48 average half damage for what was it called? I forgot what it was called. Sorry. Um, 48 average damage because Demogorgon is going to succeed the save easy for Rotten Fate, and it's likely that Vecna will hit because for Afterthought that is because it's plus 13. Demogorgon has 22 natural armor, so Vecna just needs to roll a 9 to hit. Even without that, Vecna cannot be hurt because again, Demogorgon has no way of hurting him. Demogorgon has no damaging spells. And Demogorgon is always at least 5 feet away. Just that tantalizing 5 feet. And there's nothing he can do about it. Vecna just needs to keep using Afterthought and Rotten Fate, and Demogorgon will very soon die. That was what I was trying not to spoil. In a fair 1v1, without the Book of Vile Darkness, of Vecna versus Demogorgon, Vecna wins easily. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.